This is BBC One and Kilroy.
Hello and good morning. All right, you've been dating your man for some time. You're madly in love with him and it's time for him to meet your parents. But your father refuses to meet him. And your mother wants to tell your boyfriend he's not right. She's going to have it out with him. Why? Well, it's not because he doesn't treat you right or doesn't have the money to look after you. It's because he's old enough to be your father. And that's yours. Boyfriend, isn't it, Nicola?
Yeah.
What's the attraction of a man who's old enough to be your dad?
Well, it wasn't the age that was a major thing, because I knew him before, because I was working in a pub and he was doing the karaoke, and we got together that way, really.
How old were you?
17.
And how old was Ernie?
41.
And you found the man of 41 was kind of the right man for you?
Yeah, because the age didn't really come into it until we started seeing each other.
But you must have, when you
properly.
first met him there, was he singing the karaoke?
Yeah,
Was
he
singing?
was...
Oh, was he all romantic and kind of Frank Sinatra or something? Or Elvis
no,
Presley?
no.
Oh, he wasn't? What kind of karaoke was he singing?
He was, what do you call it? He was the compere.
Oh, right. But you must have known he was an older man, and that didn't deter you. That didn't, you found him attractive?
Yeah, because we got on well. We had the same interests. We have a laugh. Mentally, he's not 42. He's still 15 or something.
15?
So.
Well, what are you doing with a man in a body of 41? He's got a mind of 15.
No, he's not. He's just a lot of fun to be with. And...
Is this going to last?
But yes, but that's now, isn't it?
Hang on, Chantal. Hang on, Chantal. Can you...
I think you're mad. You are mad. He's 42 years old.
Yeah, but what difference does that make? What
You've only
does
got
me
a few
being
good
42?
years left, mate. I'm sorry to tell you.
No, rubbish.
What
So
do
you
you
know
wanna do with your
when
life?
I'm going to die?
Yes.
Do you? Well, I'll tell you what, you can make money as a fortune teller, because there's loads of people out there. Nobody knows when I'm going to die. I could live to be 100, 120. I could be the oldest person in the world.
Yeah, what would you like when you're 100 and 120?
Oh, nobody knows. Yeah, but nobody knows when we're going to die.
But you were talking to Nicola. You were saying Nicola's not mad. He's not mad. It's Nicola you were saying. Why do you say that?
Mad because I've been in that situation. I know it does not work out.
What was the situation you were in, please? What situation were you in?
I was 16 and he was 32. And yeah, he was an older man and there's all that attraction there, and he had a house and he had a car, and I thought, set myself up for life here, you know.
Oh, you were a mercenary.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but not far wrong. But it just does not work out. He can take advantage in ways that you just got no understanding of.
Such as? Such as? Such as? Hang on, I want to know how you take advantage of the ways.
Mentally, he's so much more aware of things that you've just got no idea about. He can abuse you in ways that you just don't even realise are abuse.
The thing is, I've been out with people who are my age or just a little bit older, and they haven't worked. This has been the best relationship I have been in, because all the other ones who have been younger have just been idiots. I know not all of them are like that, but they just have been complete idiots.
Yeah, I don't really agree with you there. I mean, I don't understand why you'd want to go with someone that's a lot older when there are lots of guys out there my age that...
I mean, you're good,
just
you
as
could get
mature.
anyone.
Exactly.
I mean, there's no, like, restriction. I mean, you've got plenty of time to find someone. Why rush into something with an older man?
Because...
Yeah, but why bother about age? What's the age? Do you know what I mean?
Age matters.
Why does it matter?
When I met him, I never... That was the first issue I...
What do you mean they want
They want different things. I mean, they want commitment. They
No.
want to settle down at that
Yeah,
age.
that's what I wanted. I wanted.
How old were you?
I was 18.
18, you're not ready to settle down.
Oh, yes, I was.
How old were you?
Excuse me, but
How
you
old?
were
Hang on, Chantal,
I
please.
was
How old?
18. I've
You were
got a little
18.
boy with him.
And how old was Christopher?
34 at the time.
34?
Yeah.
And so you're saying she's all wrong about this?
No, I think so, yeah. Of course I do. Because, like,
Go on.
do you know what I mean? You don't think of it as age. You think of it as, you know, how compatible they are. That's what it is. It's compatibilities. The same interests and what have you. Just because, like, you know what I mean? Somebody at the same age as me, he might not have the same interests as what I've got.
Yeah, I know, but when you get older, you have a different lifestyle anyway, don't you?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. You do. She's going to want to go out clubbing, she's want to go out with her friends and stuff, and he's going to want to stay at home.
Yeah, I go out anyway.
Yeah, but you need to go out and find what you want with your life before you can decide whether you want to settle down with someone else.
That's what I've done.
That's a matter of choice. Listen, the major problem that you've got is that you've started off in the wrong way, because you've gone after it in a sort of materialistic way.
Yeah.
If you've got two people that actually meet, forget the age scenario, if you've got two people that meet and fall in love because they like each other, because they have the same kind of interests...
Wife says kindred spirits. Your younger wife says kindred spirits.
My younger... We've been together for 13 years. I'm 18 years older than her. When we first met, it was great.
How old were you when you first met?
I was 38, she was 19.
Child cradle snatcher.
I was still a child.
No, she was... Oh, you were still a child. I'm calling you a cradle snatcher, and he says I was still a child.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, it was great that she came packaged in a nice young person, that's fine, but her interests and my interests, that was a bonus. She started with me not because I had the car and the Porsche and me, she didn't start with that intention. You started in a materialistic way, and you've not actually met somebody,
almost
fell in
with an
love,
agenda.
and actually tried to put a life
in
together.
a materialistic way, but you've started looking at her outside appearance.
You did say you thought you were well in.
Yeah, I did, but when I first met him, obviously I didn't realise he had a lot of money. I didn't realise that he had his own house and everything. That came later. You know, I met him in a club. I didn't go up and go, oh, what car have you got, you know?
Yeah,
How big's your house?
This is what annoys me about age, right? When I go ask a girl out, I don't go up and say, you're really nice, but how old are you? Oh, you're not old enough, I better leave you alone. Age don't come into it. Every woman I've been out with has been younger than me, right? I've been married twice and they both failed. They were both younger than me. I went out with a woman who was older than me. That didn't work. Now, from the concept you guys are using, I've either got to go out with someone who's exactly the same age as me, so we're going to be compatible, or spend the rest of my life on my own.
No, we've got to do is find somebody who actually matches you.
Which I've got, which I found.
That you don't know yet because it's not long enough.
Well,
but all you've got to do is find
we've been together nearly a year.
Sure.
Can I ask Nicola?
But all you can do is try. You can't make the statement now that it's going to last because you're not being together long enough.
I was married for 5 years. It didn't last. Right. I didn't know that, which is why people say, what's going to happen in 10 years' time? I ain't got a clue.
All you should do is try and develop your life in such a way that you're going to be together. The age thing, that makes no difference at all. You can develop.
Can someone explain to me, what is age? What is old?
You.
You know.
You.
Nicola, how many...
Hang on, sorry, Jenny, hang on.
How many boyfriends had you had before you met Ernie?
Oh.
I'm sorry, that might be an...
No, answer!
Had you had a sexual relationship before you met him? I know this is your mum sat here, I'm sorry, but you had?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like that he kind of invited you into this whole new spectacular world?
No, I started having sex with
No, don't
people.
reveal those kind of things.
I was younger than that, and that was with younger people to start off with. I was out with people only about 2 years older than me until I was about 16, and then I started going out with people who were a lot older.
Right. How long have you been together now?
A year.
Nearly a year.
Right. And Mum doesn't like it, though, do you, Mum?
No, not really.
Why?
Well, I just don't think she's had a chance to go out and find out what she really wants out of life and to experience.
What do you say to her?
I don't say too much to her because it's up to her, and I don't want to fall out with her, and we have a really good relationship, and I wouldn't want to lose that. So we put up with it, but obviously he doesn't.
We put up with it?
Yeah, me and my husband.
You and your husband?
Yeah, but I mean,
put up with it sounds kind of... It's really bad for you.
I won't say really bad, but obviously I would hope that it doesn't last.
You don't want...
You hope it's a bit of a phase.
It's a bit of a phase.
Well, her life isn't finished, is it?
Oh, no, it's not.
Your dad doesn't like it, does he?
No.
Dad doesn't talk to him?
No.
What does Dad do?
Well, he doesn't treat Nicola any differently.
No.
I mean, they still have a very good relationship as well, which is good. But he doesn't. Ernie doesn't come to the house.
Nicola's dad doesn't let Ernie come to the house.
Well, it's not that he doesn't.
He doesn't speak to him when he's there. You can't go to family parties, can you, together?
No.
No, Ernie, because if you go to a family party, Nicola's dad won't turn up.
Or my dad's going, basically.
One or other's got to go.
Yeah.
What does that do to your relationship?
We we was arguing a lot about it because obviously I was getting comments off my mum and dad
Yeah.
about Ernie, and I was getting stuff off Ernie about my mum and dad. So I was sort of stuck in the middle, and it used to really bother me, and I used to get upset, but now I don't care.
Can I ask you a question about your husband? Did he meet him and then sort of like say, I don't like him, or did he actually just refuse to meet him?
He's never met him.
See, because
Right, so he
Angela's
doesn't know.
parents are my best friends.
Were they always?
No, I only met them with Angela, but they...
No, I mean, were they always? Were
Oh,
they,
absolutely.
right from the
From the day
beginning?
that we met, we've been, you know, they're
So what are you
accountants.
saying that Nicola's dad should do then?
I think he should, you know, he should give the guy a chance. At the end of the day...
Should meet him and
it's-
then make a
it's-
judgment.
You
Or it
see,
definitely won't work.
any two people that meet can break up. Any two people can meet, can find they don't work. We've been going out together for a year, it could quite easily fall out like any other relationship. It needs help, but at the end of the day, OK, you've got to work hard in a
He will
relationship
lose a
these
daughter
days.
through
But,
it.
but what he should do is he should actually try and make contact. Not say, OK, I'll give you my full condolence, but he should at least try and make some sort of contact and see
He should have a
if the guy
conversation with him, actually.
is right.
If he is seriously worried about the relationship, he should sit him down and ask him what his motivation is.
See, all I've
His
ever
intentions
asked...
towards her, exactly.
I've got no actual grievance against Nicky, Teresa's husband, whatever. He's never met me. He's judging me based on whatever age.
Yeah.
Judging me based on.
And perhaps
And you've been married.
Yeah, come on. Have you
Yeah,
got,
and I've been married.
You've been married twice before.
Yeah.
Have you got kids?
No.
But imagine you've got a daughter who was...
I can totally understand.
you know what
No,
I was going to say.
still-
Would you want your daughter who is 18 to marry a man of 42 who's been through 2 marriages, hasn't got a very good track record, Ernie?
Well, I come from my family. My mum was 30 years younger than my dad.
Yeah.
I grew up in that environment. My mum and dad were happy until the day my dad died when he was 78. So to me, the age difference means nothing. My dad was 57 when I was born.
Yeah, but OK, how old is Nicola's dad?
40.
41.
41.
Oh, he's younger
Twins.
than you.
Yeah.
You'd have a son-in-law, older.
So he's younger than you?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, Ernie, why
No,
don't you...
he's only younger than me by the date he was born, not up here.
Yeah.
That don't, you know,
Oh, he's
that's what
older than
people
you
forget.
mentally, is he?
Well, I don't know. He's never met me, so I
Well,
can't
Ernie,
judge
no,
him.
but what I'm saying, Ernie, is
Can I?
you're the older man, so the
Physically.
responsibility... Oh, Ernie, stop picking bones about it. You're the older man. In years, you're the older man.
Physically,
and
yes.
therefore, why don't you take the responsibility to take this younger man, who happens to be your prospective father-in-law, to one side, sit him down, and
Because
explain the
Nicky
position
sort of
to
said, like, don't do it. So, I mean, I've offered to ring up and say, look, all I want to do is sit down in a pub, in a cafe, wherever, and have a chat.
Control of the situation, take control of
yeah,
it.
but you see, if I do that, I'm not the one that's going to get the grief. It's going to come back to her.
No,
Well, if
excuse
she
me, it
wants to
takes
mix
two.
in mature circles, then you have to take some of the flack. You have to make that decision.
Oh, if you want to
proactive
mix
on it.
in mature circles, 18-year-old Nicola, she is saying
I've
you've got to be
spoken
as
to my
mature.
dad
You should
about
be the
it.
go-between. You should say, Dad, I love you and I don't want to lose you, but I'm in love with this man. It may last, it may not, but can we at least have a discussion about it? Because I don't want to hurt you.
He hasn't cut Nicola off. I mean, his relationship with Nicola is exactly the same.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
better
it can't be
because
the same.
It's not, it can't be.
Can't be
Honestly,
the
it
same.
can't be, because he's got this resentment. It's going to build. I'll tell you what's going to happen if you're not very careful, is that whatever happens to them two, he'll push her towards him.
Yeah.
You'll end up losing her, and you'll end up solidifying something that may not last. Sorry about that, but I'm not saying... You've got as much chance as anybody else to last.
He's bonding them together.
He's bonding them, he's pushing them towards each other. And he shouldn't do it.
See how that's...
Well, because, you know, she wants to do something like
That's
any
the dynamics
child.
of the situation.
Absolutely.
That's what happens.
You've been young and in
You've been
love.
I was just going to say, you must have been there.
You know what it's like to be 18 and those hormones are raging and there's a guy you fancy. It's like, no one is going to stop me.
Oh, hang on,
Going
tell us
out with a
about
man.
them.
Yeah.
Well, you tell me about them. I don't mind which one of you tells me
I was
about.
bluffing, she'll tell you.
Do these things last, Chantal? They're worried about where...
No, they don't last at all.
They don't?
No, they do not. You tend to grow apart as you get older.
This is you and Ernie, our
yes,
second Ernie.
this is, yes, second Ernie is my husband.
This is your husband?
I have left my husband 2 years ago because we just didn't get on anymore.
Hang on.
We just didn't get on anymore. Our relationship just grew apart, and it just, the fire that used to be there just
How old were
died.
you when you met him?
I was
28.
27.
And Ernie was?
46.
And how old are you now, Chantal?
Well, I'm 52 now, and he's 70.
So go on.
I don't know what difference it makes, to be quite honest with you. It doesn't matter
Well,
if one's
actually,
50
there
and
is a
one's
big
80.
difference because we don't have nothing in common any longer. Me, I am still raring to go, you know. I'm dancing, I'm going out.
That's just a difference of personality, though, isn't it?
He cannot keep up the pace.
Yeah, but that's just a different personality. You could just as easily have been with someone 20 years your junior, and that same thing could have happened. Because it's all down to personality and mentality.
We don't have anything in common any longer.
No, that's you and him. It's not down to age. With myself and my husband, he's 22 years my senior.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. And it's wonderful. We get along like a house on fire. We have 3 children. I look forward to a very happy future. I know I'm taking into account that, yes, he's going to be that much older than me, and I'm probably going to be looking after an old man. But it's reality. We've got to take it into reality. He's 22 years older than me. I'm being honest. But you could be 90.
Chantal, listen.
Age does creep up with you physically, not necessarily mental, but the
So you're not going to give him the elbow when he's 70?
No, because I love him. And I take that into account in getting into the relationship right from the get-go. I mean, we've just had a baby, believe it or not, a surprise one at that, which was a great shock to him, but he loves her, and I think we help, I suppose, keep him young.
How can you just give him the elbow when he's 70, Chantal?
We've had a beautiful daughter also. There she is.
There's your daughter,
Karina. There's our daughter.
Yeah.
And, you know,
and this is her father.
Yes,
which
and
is your husband. And you're saying he's no good anymore because he's old.
Yes.
That's not fair.
Really, just like that, Chantal. Ernie, what do you think about all this?
We live on different planets.
Well, no. I still care in my heart for him. I still care. We still look after each other, but we cannot live together any longer.
Where's your loyalty? Where's your loyalty?
Well, my loyalty still's there.
Why did you get married in the first place?
I don't go astray.
Why did you get married in the first place?
I look after him.
Why did you get married in the first place?
Because I loved him very much.
And what happened to that?
I still love him.
Well, then where's your loyalty? Where's your support? Where's the rest of your life together?
We just cannot live together any longer.
I'll tell you what, you've done him a great favour as far as I'm concerned. You'll live a lot longer, I reckon.
Well, he was married. He used to be married to a woman who was 10 years older than me.
I mean, you're doing my years in already, and I've only known you for a couple.
Really, I am sorry.
How old are you?
I'm 52.
How old are you, Chantal?
52.
Before you ask the question, it's absolutely in no way this
She said she was raring to go.
Well, she can go, she can go anywhere she wants, but nowhere near me.
I don't wish to go anywhere near you, my dear, you know.
Did you have anything in common when you got married? Obviously, there was something there. You fall in love, but you must have had
well, there was the
similarities.
physical attraction.
Yes, but beyond the physical attraction, did you have anything in common?
But, you know, he had a wonderful personality.
Yes, but did you have interests
was
that
that
were the same?
Well, yes, that...
Yeah. Or disappeared?
Yes, but did you have interests?
Let's do one at a time. Let's do the personality. Let's do the personality. She fancied him, and she obviously doesn't fancy him now, but he had a wonderful personality, and Johnny says, the question that I was about to ask, well, surely he's still the same person. He's got the same personality.
Yes, but he changed. He really did change.
Hang on,
26 years were you, but how did it change?
I'm sorry.
Why have you taken a dislike?
Why are you so nasty?
I mean, I get a very strong feeling, my friend, that you don't
why
really kind of like Chantal very much.
You do not
know what
know
she's
me.
saying. This poor guy gets married to her, expects to spend the rest of his life with him. Of course his personality's gone. You've changed it.
What
is that right?
This poor girl here?
Is that right?
Yes, I did. I gave him an ultimatum. Well, I'm coming to this. I didn't want to as yet, but I gave him an ultimatum because he was always with the woman next door.
She felt.
That's why the interest went to college. He was with a woman next door all the time.
He was with a...
And the neighbours used to tell me...
He was playing bridge with a woman next door. What I like the words you really... What were you doing? Let's get the facts, Ernie.
The lady next door.
Hang on, because hang on, the lady next door might come running into the studio with a broom in a minute to bash somebody over. What's the lady next door, Ernie?
The lady next door was 72.
But she was not compatible.
I was doing shopping and a garden.
Right, nothing else.
Yes,
nothing else.
wait, excuse me.
What's wrong with him? He was being a good Samaritan.
I didn't mind, but over the last 5...
Yes, you did mind.
Oh, yes, well, over the last 7 years, I did mind.
What did
because
she mind? Why did she
my
mind?
daughter and I, we were neglected. Excuse me, and you began to be
Don't look at
so
me,
happy
look
with
at
this
Chantal.
lady.
So you were
Look at me because I am saying the truth. And that, excuse me, but that lady next door thought so much about my husband and he thought so much of her that he used to end up insulting me, and that is the gospel's truth. Insulting me as soon as he came through the door.
You probably didn't appreciate him. You think he goes somewhere men will go. They're like cats. If they're happy, they'll stay. If they're not happy, they're out. Men are like cats. They are. I should imagine this old girl
I didn't
next
know we
door.
were like cats.
Oh, we are.
Oh, we are, right.
Well, I mean, a lot of my friends say how lucky he is that I still look
That's
after
it, and you
him.
probably didn't appreciate him, because the thing is, if he's going next door and some old girl's really
Well, I was
appreciating
at
everything he's
college,
doing,
you know, doing
Yeah, we didn't hear call you a tomcat. No, we didn't hear that.
No.
Yeah, Ernie, let Ernie speak.
I also helped an old gentleman next door but one.
Yeah, you.
he's got a good
but I
heart.
didn't mind.
Who was
You might be
84.
52.
I didn't
Hang on,
mind.
Chantal.
You might be
Because you
52 now. Chantal.
Excuse me,
Chantal,
but
excuse
I
me.
haven't finished.
No, we know that, but my friend's going to talk to you. We got that feeling. I wonder why.
I have something else to say now to clarify
Let
this
my
matter.
friend say, go on then, Chantal, let her say it. Go on,
Because whilst I was at college, I couldn't look after this lady any longer, but I looked after her also for 5 years of her life, doing her shopping, cleaning her house. I did it also for 5 years.
Right.
And I'd had it up to here.
Chantal, it's fine. You're 52 now, but one of these days you're going to be 70. Will you still be in the same frame of mind when they
Well,
cast you
when
on the
I am-
scrap heap? Because that's what you're doing to Ernie, aren't you? You just chucked him aside. He's 70, throw him aside. Are you going to be the same frame of mind when they do it to you?
we just do not get on anymore, and we have a teenager.
Yeah, because of his
My
age.
daughter is a noisy person. He cannot stand it when she has her music on, and I mean, he's got to think. She's a young
Oh, you're not leaving him
adult.
for your daughter, are you? You're not leaving him because he can't stand your daughter's music.
She's a young
compromise.
adult.
How would you feel if
doing
you...
her own
What's the
life.
difference between you two?
17 years.
Don't get on anymore. I cannot stand it.
Chantal,
I'm also a karaoke
Chantal,
presenter as well.
listen.
We've got a
Look and feel
17-year
like if I
difference.
was
We've got a...
picture
Chantal, listen.
anymore.
Oh, Ernie, you done the right thing, mate. God. We've got I'm 53, Debbie here is 36. We've got a 15-year-old
And do you realise...
who likes his music and likes... We compromise.
Do you realise she's going to end up like her?
No.
Never.
I should get out now if I was you.
You've got a spare room, haven't you?
You can't...
But you can live together. Why shouldn't you live together?
She's saying that when they were younger, she fancied him, the personality, he had a personality, they shared interests, but as he's got older, she is still, the age gap has got larger.
She hasn't
She's
grown with
stayed
him.
younger.
She just hasn't grown with him. She
But why should she grow? Has she got to stay? What do you mean? She's got to be 70.
No, she's got to grow. She's got to
Has she
grow
got to grow
at
with
the
you?
same age. Yeah.
Why?
Compromise.
Which way? What you're asking her? If you realise
Why
what
should
you're
I
saying,
bury
you're saying she's
myself
got to
in
be
for my
older.
time?
No, I'm not saying she's got to be older. She's got to be older than what she was when she first met him. He's grown older. She stayed the same. Her views haven't changed at all.
They have matured together, that's all. They've grown apart, which can happen in any relationship. But
Well, of
the
course.
point is, it's not down to their age. It's just down to they're two different people, aren't they?
Yeah, we're
You
on
chalk
two
and
different
cheese, I wouldn't
planets
put
now,
them
like he
together.
said.
But then I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't put me and my husband together.
What does Mum feel about all this?
Mum?
Mum?
My mum.
No, you're the mom. You're Chantal. I don't know what your mom feels about it, but you're Chantal's mom, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell her,
You tell.
don't marry a man more old of you, because me, I am married. I know my husband. I was 35 and he was 50.
Yeah.
And then everything was all right with him during we was a little bit young. But when he was getting old, he changed all a lot.
When the hair started to grow in the ear.
Hang on. How did he change? This is your husband.
Yeah.
This is your older husband.
Yeah.
And how did he change as he got older?
Because he was a captain seaman
Yeah.
and drunken.
But you mean he became more boring? But he became more boring, you mean?
Yeah.
And that's why you told Chantal not to marry
Yeah.
Ernie?
Yeah.
And so what you've told Chantal, you've seen come true, have you? Do you agree with what Chantal's doing?
Not really.
Tell the truth, Janine.
Not really, she said.
What do you think of us two now?
Oh, hang on. Tell the truth, Janine, Ernie says.
Come on, Janine. Oh, it's putting her on.
Of course we're putting her on the spot! Janine, tell the truth.
Please.
Please.
Aww. Ernest and I, we have the same age.
You were here the same age?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
No.
Yeah, I know that.
I am 72.
Yeah, you're the same age as Ernie.
Yeah.
But you think what Chantal is doing is wrong?
A little bit, yes.
Why?
Because they still make a life together, and they was in love together, and then they have that child.
And you think they should still make their life together?
Yes.
Yeah. But you hear what she's saying?
Oh,
You've got two cases there. They're both saying, Chantal and Janine, they both married older men, and at the time it seemed good, all the things you're saying, but the age thing is a problem as you get older. When you're 30, when one's 25 and the other's 40, it's not so bad. It's when the one is 50 and the other one is 70.
Well,
Does that worry you?
Not at all. I'm 52.
Does it worry you?
Does it worry you?
No, but I think we've grown.
I already have the wheelchair installed and a nurse on tap, and I'm ready to...
See, what chance have I got, you see?
Well, I used to say this. I said, oh, I'll look after you,
We've been together
darling.
14 years.
I'll put you in a wheelchair and take you out for walking.
Yeah, well, you have to joke about it, because if you thought, oh my God, you know, in 10 years'
I still
time you
look
might
after you.
have a heart attack, I could
true.
wake up next to a corpse.
But
You wouldn't do anything, everything is a risk.
It's individuals and it's interest. You
Yeah.
know, whoever's going to get together, whoever's going to live together, you've got to have the same interests. You've got to have the same. You've got to be able to communicate with each other.
Ernie?
You've got to be able to work it through.
Ernie?
We do not.
Ernie, Ernie, speak, Chantal.
I've just had 2 heart attacks, and Chantal's looked
I'm not
after me
surprised, actually,
like a
really.
king.
She's looked after you, yeah. What does Gran has been through the same kind of thing. Let me sit next to her. What does you've been referred to a lot, and if you don't want to speak, you don't have to. But is it difficult in a family? Obviously, it's difficult when your mum and dad are having an argument and they're splitting up. But of course, that's going to be difficult for anybody. But is it difficult actually having an older father? Is that part of the problem for you that causes a problem for your mum? Because your mum actually used you as an example. She said that Ernie can't stand your loud music. Does it cause you problems?
No, it doesn't cause me problems, but at school sometimes it can do, because when I was in year 5, I'll always remember this, I told my best friend how old my dad was, and I thought I could trust her, and obviously I couldn't, because she told all the friends on the table how old my dad was, and then someone said, Karina's dad's 65 or whatever, and I just turned away and I just started crying.
So you got called names?
Yeah.
You got bullied? So that was rotten. That's other people though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what about you yourself? Your relationship with your dad is a good one.
Yeah.
And you don't I mean, he's your dad and you love him, obviously.
Yeah.
But he doesn't cause you problems as a person other than what other people feel, the fact that he's older.
No, not at all.
Yes, mother.
How do you feel about what your mother's doing, and have you told her?
I think the problem is between my mum and my dad is that they argue a lot.
Right.
And they can't compromise.
You really don't want them perhaps to live together anymore because they're tearing at each other?
Yeah, I think it's best if they are living separate, because if my dad just comes back and lives in the house, everything will just go back to square one, and they'll just start arguing and ripping at each other's throats.
See, they can't compromise, so it's 2 people that can't get on with each other, and the age is almost an excuse. Do you think that?
You're not going to let it go, are you? You wouldn't know he was married to a younger woman, would you?
Not many.
I did. Have you finished?
Yeah. I'm curious, because obviously my children have an older father, and do you ever think towards, I don't know if kids think about whether or not their parents are going to be there or not. Do you ever think that sort of forward to the future that there's going to be a time without your dad? Do you worry about that? I know it's a horrible question.
I thought only I asked horrible questions.
For my children.
Of course you do.
Because I've tried to discuss it, but...
When my dad had his second heart attack, I thought I was going to lose him, and before that, my dad told me where everything was in the house, where all the money was and everything. And I thought...
You haven't told your mum, have you? Don't tell Chantal.
No, I'm not really bothered about the money.
No, of course you're not.
But I was curious to know why, and then about a month later, he rang us up on a school morning, so that meant I had to take another day of school, which I wasn't bothered about. And and we went to my dad's, and he said that the pains were the same as the first heart attack, and my mum was there for him all the time, and no one can say anything because they haven't been here through my family life, and just can't say anything.
She's just been there for him
Yeah.
when he's needed her. Good. Chantal doesn't have a lot of friends here this morning,
Yes,
but whatever she does. Okay, hang on, Di, please. But whatever one might, you've left it a bit late, my friend. Whether or not she has got friends here, nobody can take that away from her. As her daughter said, as Ernie himself has said, she's been there for him when he's needed her, when she's, particularly on the 2 occasions when he had a heart attack. We're talking about these men that are married to younger women, or if you like, what's the attraction of older men to younger women? And we have the problems here in this relationship where they find there are difficulties with their families. Perhaps that's the problem. It isn't the age, it isn't the fact that the man is older and the woman is younger. The problem is how other people react to them, how they perceive them, how they relate to them. Got problems with the family there because it affects the daughter at school. What did it do to the family?
Well, Tony's 18 years older than me. We've been together 20 years, we've been married 16. I've lost all my family. My dad wasn't too bad. It was, you know, I'm not going to get involved. But my mum found it very, very difficult. She found that because there was only the matter of 6 or 7 months between Tony's age and her own age, it was infatuation, and it was not going to last.
Is what she said to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was not going to last. It did, and we're very happy. I have a big regret, a very big regret. Not only as far as my mum and dad are concerned.
Who don't talk to you?
No.
And haven't talked to you for how long?
No,
14 years.
14 years, and you have no contact with them?
No. But the biggest regret I've got is I left 2 children.
You left 2 children?
I left 2 girls.
How old?
One was 6 and one was 7.
And you left them to go with?
Yes, because at the time I'd got nowhere to go. I walked out of the house, didn't know where I was going. I didn't know anything. I didn't know where my bed was going to be. I knew they was going to be looked after. They got a warm bed.
Who were they going to be looked after by?
I knew my mum would look after them.
Is that why your mum doesn't talk to you?
Yes, that was the big factor, besides the age gap.
She had problems with the age gap.
Yeah.
And she, as indeed Teresa does, with Nicola's age gap, as indeed Chantal's mum did with their age gap. But both mums come to terms with it because mums do, don't they? In the end, I think most of them. Which you've come to terms with, or is it the fact that they left the kids that is the real problem with mum and dad?
Yeah, it could be, but it was the age gap that did it. Because they all kept saying to me, what about when you're 40, life begins at 40, so they say, and he's coming up 60, then what do you do? But I could never see the age gap. I've never, ever seen it. We've always had the same interests. Everything's been great between us.
How old are you now?
I'm 45.
And?
63.
63, yeah.
But I mean, yes, I've done some crying. I've lay awake at night thinking about my girls. And I have tried. It didn't work for the simple reason they wouldn't accept Tony.
And the girls won't now?
No, they just won't accept Tony.
So you don't speak to your daughters either?
No, they're just like that to me.
And how old are they?
The one will be 27 in December and the other one's 26 in November.
You've seen them since?
Yes. Yes.
I couldn't leave my daughter.
Hang on, you're gone.
I couldn't leave my daughter, her brother. I couldn't, you know, if I was faced with a similar situation, I couldn't leave them.
Yeah, but you had an older man?
My husband is 11 years older than I am.
Yeah.
And I just...
It was a very big thing we did.
It was wrong in my eyes at the time. It took me a long while to get over my son, who was 15 when I left. There's no good age to leave. I left at 15 and I was guilty for years.
You can't accept it. Yes, very happy.
Are you happy now?
I tell you now, I've got a most fantastic woman in this woman. She carries me.
But I will say one thing. I know you think, well, OK, you shouldn't do it, but at the end of the day, them children are going to grow up, they're going to have children of their own, they're going to get married, just the way they have done. And I would have never been happy. I would have still been at square one.
I've got to say this. She did leave 2 children. I left us.
Can I say something too? You said, I found it quite remarkable, and I'm surprised nobody's picked up on it. You said, your 2 children you left, your 2 daughters, they're going to grow up, they're going to get married, they're going to be happy. But if you had stayed, you would have been unhappy. Yeah. But you're their mum.
I know, yes, I agree.
And mums...
I agree.
And when you take... Nobody, those kids didn't ask to be born.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
And when you're a mum, you have responsibilities,
yeah,
you have obligations, you can't help it. Once you become a parent, you're a parent. Yeah. Your life changes.
Yes.
Right? And we have to accept that.
The biggest
is there no thing in your mind, I'm going to use the nasty word now, where you might have said to yourself, because we're honest with ourselves, aren't we? Even if we're not honest in front of other people. In the dark watches of the night, when we talk to ourselves, we're honest.
Yeah.
And one of the honest things you would have said to yourself, is it that I put myself first?
Yes. I have
is
said
it right for a mother to put herself before her children?
I don't believe...
Even for a lovely fellow like him?
No, I don't believe so. It's just a choice I had to make.
Why?
Because
I've got nowhere to go.
I wouldn't leave my child for another man.
I've got nowhere to go.
You'd leave your husband because he's ill.
No, he's not because he's ill.
I still look after him, and we still live with each other, but we cannot live together anymore.
I've got angina, I've got diabetes. This woman absolutely carries
me. We don't see an age yet. We just don't see an age yet.
But your children, they're a part of you.
Yeah, I understand the girls. As far as the 2 girls concerned, it was
your children. They're a part of you. You know, you carried them for 9 months.
I've got 2 children now.
We knew we were going to get roasted over the children.
I couldn't be apart from my children.
But I've got 2 children now, and they're you know.
I couldn't be apart from my children. It would kill me.
Well, we tried to get them back, and it was too late.
I'd rather be without a man to the day I die.
You know that, Sandra. Jenny?
Yeah, I would rather be without a man. Actually, and I think...
You'd like to what, love?
I'd rather be without a man than without my children, because I think, you know, I've got 2 sons. Well, they're men now. But, you know, you're a package. I think when you're a mother, you're a package. Well, yeah, and it's kind of, love me, love my kids.
But you did love them.
You know,
you did love them.
But the
thing was, when I went out, that day I moved out, I went out, I didn't know where I was going to go.
What about their father?
They're with their dad. We would put floorboards. We was on floorboards, lying on a mattress. That was what we'd got in someone's house.
Children often don't mind that. If they're with mum, actually they don't mind.
Johnny?
Why couldn't you move down as a family? Why couldn't you have taken your son, you take your daughters, and you're all out, if you're all out there on the street,
to go.
You know, it's all for one and one for all.
The children to take them into that environment.
What environment? You were going out there. You were there to nourish them.
Johnny, please, listen, go on, Johnny.
I've got 5 children, ages from 31 to 2, and they come first. The kids like the package, you know, it's take me, it's all of them. From the 31-year-old in the States to the 2-year-old round the corner. And I just can't see how you could not, since you're a mum, you know, you're a mother, the children are there. If you're going to move out, you're going to start a new life. Good luck to you.
Tells me what I take.
Go as a family, surely.
Lying on her back, just quiet. I knew what she was thinking, and I thought I was going to lose
I've done some crying.
I thought she was going to go back to the kids. I wouldn't have blamed her. But I was glad she stuck with me because we got 2 brilliant kids.
No.
They are fantastic. Not any trouble.
2 kids of your own.
Yeah.
Can I just ask the gentleman a question? I didn't quite catch your name. Do you feel a little bit selfish that you've allowed her to leave her children? Because you just made a comment saying, you know, you thought she was going to leave you and go back to the children. Do you feel that you've been a little bit selfish? Because I'll tell you something, my parents are separated, they're divorced, and I would have been absolutely devastated if my mother had left me for another man.
You know, how do you know, I don't agree with what you've done there. I mean, I wish you all the best, and I hope you're very happy, which I'm sure you are, but I don't think
you're
you are.
a nice person.
There are so many situations where the fathers get custody anyway in relationships where the mother, they go through the court.
I did go through the court.
Yes, I know, and this is not entirely your fault. Stop punishing yourself as long as you're happy now, and the children are happy now, and they're not being abused, and the unit now works. I would say that opening up, if doors are closed, there was something somebody mentioned earlier about, yes, about you not talking, having any communication with a father. As long as you have communication with your father.
There's no communication.
Yes, but there's no communication.
None at all.
As long as you try and open that up a little bit, surely that's the answer to that. But I wouldn't go on punishing yourself. There are loads of situations where fathers are quite capable.
I've got a sister-in-law who for 20 years has not spoken a word to my wife. 20 years.
And you've got grandchildren.
Well, I can tell you, you're in agony.
So you don't see the grandchildren either? How many grandchildren you got? Got 3 grandchildren. And
You're not happy now.
We are fantastically happy. To leave us alone, and we want to live our life.
I mean,
we are.
Hang on, my love. Come here. Come and sit there. Come and sit there.
Look very happy.
Sit down there.
You're actually sitting there and you're crying. Right, I'm hearing what you... Let me finish. I'm hearing what you're saying. But it doesn't seem to me that you're very happy. You haven't got your children. You haven't had a relationship with your children. You haven't grown with your children. You know, you haven't got your entire family unit.
My own children I'm talking about now.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad I haven't got any children.
I mean,
at the moment, I'm happy not having any children, but I wouldn't even leave my dog for another man.
I suppose.
Well, I regret saying you're a nice person. You're obviously a dodgy person.
I would say
it's easy for someone. I expect this boy came here.
I'm an honest person.
But it's easy for someone to rip somebody else to pieces who haven't been through it.
She's not talking. You're taking me the wrong way. I'm not saying...
Do you regret what you've done?
I just feel that you're not...
If you had your life
one at a time. Can't hear you all.
If you had your time over again, would you do it again?
Would you what?
No, never. No.
Oh, you're not talking... That's not the question.
We'll stay together till I die.
No. And I suppose...
Oh, we didn't.
We did in the past, but we're so happy now. It's the girls. It's the girls. But having said that, I've got 2 children now. I've got a lad of 19. And he will fetch the moon out of the sky for me, if he could.
Yeah, that's these children. What about
your children? And I suppose that I can still remember my 2 girls, my 1 girl, the youngest, my last words to me. Was I'd got a pink and white gingham dress on, and I was drinking my milk, and I said, wait, leave it alone, I've got no more. I said, it's all right, Mum, I'll go and fetch you a bottle. I remember that.
We're supposed to be talking about the attraction of older men to younger women. But like a lot of conversations here, sometimes you go all over the place because we're dealing with real people, and life is complex, and relationships are complex, and they have all kind of consequences, don't they? But what I suppose we ought to do is to try, Christopher, to come back to the subject. And what is it? This is a daft question, but perhaps you can explain it, the answer to me. What is it that older men find attractive in younger women?
I don't know, really.
Oh, brilliant! Oh, well, case over. I mean, and he says it looking at his younger woman. You're going to get shot.
Everybody's opinions are different. I mean, I didn't go intentionally out looking for a younger woman. On that night, I went out looking out. I'm 40.
And how old is Louise?
Louise.
Louise?
25.
25, yeah. Well, what's wrong with women of your age?
No, I think it's all right. It's fine.
What's wrong with the women of your own age?
Of my age?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Well, I was talking... When I see some of my old school friends, not just females, men also, most of men, in my opinion, who are my friends, seem older than me. Their outlook's older. And as for a woman, like 35, 40, they all look haggard, to be honest. They look too old. They look too old for me.
Your young lady is 25 years old. I would not have guessed she was younger than me. I'm 32 years old. I'm 32 years old. And she's 25.
That way.
You're very lucky.
She thinks she's Trisha. I think I'm Oprah Winfrey. Stand up. Now, go on, what were you going to say? You suddenly got very energized. You got very energized.
And you look younger than she does.
But I do not have to look like that at 45.
I know you don't have to be rude.
Not being rude, but look, let's just face facts, you know. Swing the camera on this young 25-year-old lady.
Don't you tell the camera what to do.
Sorry, but she's 25 years old. Have you ever been to a gym? Have you ever had your makeup done? Have you ever had your hair done? You're saying you look at people your own age and they look a bit haggard. Have you looked at your dates?
Yeah, but I don't look old and wrinkly, do I?
Did you hear what she said?
I don't look wrinkly.
Yeah.
My crow lines aren't showing, love.
Yeah.
Nor mine. I haven't got any.
What it boils down to a lot
I don't think you're a nice person anymore. You're outrageous.
Robert, everybody's drifting off the subject again.
He's outrageous.
We're talking
and
about
he's an
age
older
gaps,
man.
but everybody's missing main point. Most people who have got a partner of a different age hasn't gone intentionally looking for somebody. It's just worked out that way because maybe they've got the same interests and they are compatible with each other. It's nothing to do with, like the lady was saying, on about, oh, look at her and look at me and all this. To me, that's just a load of rubbish.
Look at the weight and what have you, look at the gym.
To me,
It's nothing to do with it, weight or size or anything. Do you know what I mean?
Are women of the 40 haggard then, Di?
I think that there's no doubt about it that, well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Got to be careful, like there's three witches.
And
behind you.
Beauty, that's all right.
The witches of Kilroy behind, and they're ready to stand on their feet.
I think we're missing the, well, from the man's point of view, I've reached the age where I'm just terribly grateful. And if I get rogered, I just say thank you very, very much at any age. Right?
You're just,
and I really...
He's just being a diplomat. You're just copying that.
I'm not...
He's lying.
I'm not at all.
He's telling you lies.
I would say there is a difference, however, between say, I'm 53. There is a difference between 53-year-old flesh and 18-year-old flesh. But I've got two teenage daughters yet, which I therefore draw the line at anything close to a teenager, because obviously I would hate my own daughters to start going out with people of my age, because it is, let's face it, unnatural.
So when he goes out with 19-year-olds,
there is another side to it. We've talked, there's been a lot of talk about couples leaving each other once a poor old boy can't really handle it anymore. And it is very true to say that there is no fool like an old fool. And there are men around who really do imagine that they can hold on to younger women over a long period of time, but they can't really, because the mem-subs are always going to go off with some young... They're always going to go off with some... They're going to go off with some young chick, of course they are. They all... Some young man.
You're going to go... She's going to go off, he's saying, Ernie?
If you want sort of an older man, and that man wants the younger good girl just to look good, then that is sad. But saying about older women being haggard and stuff, that's terrible, because my mum, I hope I look like her when I'm 40.
You look like who? Normally, they always say, there's an old-fashioned thing, they always say, before looking at the daughter, look at the mother. And I was looking at your mama, and I realised you've got gold dust there. Nevertheless, when you're about 60, she'll be off with a young instructor from the gym or whatever it is. You won't be able to help it. Yes. Because it's the hormones. It's the hormones. Nicky, don't kid yourself, and you too. Actually, you're not so far apart. You're not so far apart.
What do you mean by the hormones?
What do you mean by the hormones? What happens with old boys? I've seen it so often.
Let me just tell you. He's just asked, is he speaking from experience? Nigel Dempster, the columnist in... Can I say what he calls you?
Yes.
You sure? Will you say it?
What?
What does he call you?
Extremely good-looking...
No! Of the valleys! Where of the valleys? Are we allowed to say that?
Well,
no?
I don't know about that.
Well, no, I don't mind.
Well, it's not subdued to say, but
but you're allowed to... Oh,
extremely good-looking, not overweight Welshman? No.
No, he didn't say that.
Okay.
This is Di Llewellyn. He calls Di Llewellyn the seducer of the valleys, doesn't he?
Yeah, but that was in my youth. I can all up now.
No, but that's the point. He said, if you've got experience, you know what you're talking about.
Yes, I would have to say that
you've got
over the years, I have been married and I have 2 children, and my wife was the ideal sort of age, 12 years younger than me, and I think that is a proper age for young. But that's really not a huge age gap.
No.
But I do think over these huge age gaps, and I do have many friends who have that sort of middle-age crisis thing, and they dump their mem-subs and go off and find some nice little rock chick, and they take it home, and they have this little trophy wife hanging around for a while, and it all looks very good. But I give it about 2 years usually.
It gives you about 2 years.
There you go, yeah.
So I turn around.
Well, there's certain tablets around now if he's being let down.
But he's saying it won't last. He's saying it's the men that it will.
It will last.
What's the age difference?
15 years between us. He's older than me in age, but mentally, I'm the oldest and he's the youngest.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
And you're 43. 43. And all what Di says, you think it's a nonsense?
Oh, no,
that
hang on, 15 years is not a age gap. No, I don't think that is. You should be half your age plus 7 years.
Hang on,
I should be doing.
Yeah, go on.
He's out all the time, and I'm trying to keep him at home.
Yeah.
Now, there's a big age difference between us. And I've also got a daughter.
Hang on, I'll come to you in a minute. Let her finish, I'll come to you. Yeah, go on.
People look at us, or what have you, and they think, well, what are we doing together? But then at the end of the day, you can't help falling in love with somebody.
Well, you see, 15, I think, this is a huge...
So what is he saying is a big age gap then? He's
What's the
saying
big
12
age gap?
years is okay, 15 years is okay.
Guy, what's the age gap then?
So what you're saying is a big age gap?
I think the...
She's got 24, 22, what you got?
It should be...
17.
Half your age plus 7 years.
Half your age plus... You can't work that out now.
Of course, it's very simple.
33 is 16 at
Okay, for a
40-year-old,
it's a 27-year-old.
So what do you...
So my husband's 54, I'm 33. So if you do that thing you just said, we come in line.
Yeah. He's about my age,
right. Now, I got a neck to pick with you, because you said before about, I'm going to go off and leave him. And I take insult. I take great offence to that, because I love my man, and I plan on standing by him.
But he is half your age plus 7 years, so it's all right.
Yeah, but I plan on standing by him. I love him, and like I said from the beginning, I've taken everything into consideration. I've gone in with my eyes wide open.
Your wise eyes open. She said something like that earlier on, didn't she?
We have 3 beautiful children.
I would say the risk factor. Okay, the risk factor.
We've been together 14 years and then...
You're going to leave him?
Yep.
When your hormones, and it was you that talked about hormones? You started dialing on hormones?
Absolutely, we all have hormones, and as we get older, they go a bit rampant as well.
Are you worried about him?
We've been together for 14 years. There's 18 and a half years
Please,
difference. And we're actually getting better as we get older.
But he started with a younger one, didn't he? He
started with a younger one.
And then the next one was younger still?
Well, no, his first one.
I got you, my friend. I got you. You were giving me a lot of aggro. I thought, shall I use this information I have or not? So he said he keeps trading up down to a younger one, doesn't he?
I'm wife number 3. I make no bones about it.
And you're the youngest.
But let's face it.
Do you worry? Does that seriously?
No, it doesn't worry me at all, because if they were any good, they'd still be around.
She's now the She's now the oldest woman I've ever been out with.
Yeah, and that does worry me.
Di, you heard what Di said. I can't remember what your age difference is between you and your fella.
I'm 20 and my partner is 42.
Have you worked it out?
Yeah, so I think that's too much.
Let me tell you then, is it too much? He says you're not going to... He's saying you won't last. It's you that won't last. Because you're...
I've been with him for 4 years.
You argue a lot though, don't you?
Yeah.
What do you argue over?
General things. I don't think it's any more if we were the same age. We've been together 5 years, 4 years, and we've got a baby together. So if we're together for another 5 years, I don't think it's been a waste of a relationship, because we've got something out of it, a beautiful little girl.
But that would... So you're already anticipating the possibility the relationship might end. But
every relationship's got that. I could be with an 18-year-old and it ends tomorrow.
Every relationship can end, but you don't usually enter into a relationship or be in the middle of a relationship, do you? Anticipating that it would end? Or is that where we've got to now? It's disposable relationships?
I don't anticipate it to end, and I certainly don't want it to end. But there's always that
possibility.
Robert, may I say that I think that she is being very realistic. I'm not saying that your relationship will end. Nobody will want to say such a thing. But I think that to be absolutely realistic, here is Chantal, who is not untypical of someone who is considerably younger than the husband. She sees bits dropping off him, and which does quite often happen as people get older. And it's not that pleasant sitting around watching bits drop off people. And when you want to go off dancing...
dropping off you, Ernie. I wouldn't put up with that. Can these... We started, and I'll finish. Do they last?
Yes.
Yes.
Relationships?
Yes.
You have
20 years of it. So.
And what's the next 20 years going to be like?
Same.
I hope I survive that long with...
As long as we've got each other, we'll come through.
Of course you will. Well, that's it, I suppose. That's the cliche, isn't it? But the true one, like most cliches are, as long as we've got each other, we'll pull through, because they're pulling through together. And when you get to that point, what's important is not the age. That might, in a lot of relationships, cause complications. Of course it does, if there's a difference and different interest, different outlook. But if the two people are actually feel the same, are compatible, have the same interests, and above all, they like being with each other and they love each other, then nothing else counts, does it? Take care of yourselves.
If you'd like to take part in a programme about the care system or another about phobias, call now on 0990 100 771. Were you raised in care? Did it fail you? Were you well looked after? Did you move from home to home, or did you have one care worker after another? Has it affected your ability to be a good parent? Secondly, do you have a phobia? Is it affecting your relationship, your everyday life? Does your partner have a phobia? How do you cope?
On City Hospital at 10 o'clock this morning, news of a little girl flown over from Lithuania for life-saving heart surgery. Justina has been treated here before, but this is the vital operation, which, if successful, will allow her to lead a normal life. The start of a new week here on City Hospital in a couple of minutes after the news. See you then.
In the late Jurassic, one thing held true above all else. Size matters. The Age of the Giants is brought vividly to life in Walking with Dinosaurs, the biggest thing on television in 200 million years. Tonight at 8:30 on BBC One.
John Major certainly owed everything to Margaret Thatcher, but gratitude is a rare commodity in politics.
The Major Years, tonight at 10 on BBC One.